Hello and welcome back to another edition of the MCR. My name is Mac. With me this morning is TJ, and we are the MCR. And I want to talk about Jim Jordan's subpoena to FBI agent Elvis Chan over the Biden administration's collusion with big tech. And if you're unaware, and they've just done it again, they colluded with big tech to suppress speech, which is a violation of the First Amendment. And as far as I'm concerned, and I don't know if Mr. Jordan would agree or Kevin McCarthy will agree, that's an impeachable offense. He if this is true, and I believe it is, suppressed people's First Amendment rights. Now, that's not the job of the president. He takes an oath, and unless you're the New Jersey governor, it's not absolute. The oath, you say you're going to uphold and defend the Constitution, not subvert the Constitution, which these Democrats do on a daily basis. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan on Friday issued a subpoena to Special Agent of the FBI, Elvis Chan, after the Department of Justice blocked Chan's appearance in a voluntary interview. So he was going to come in and talk, and the FBI told him he couldn't. The Committee on the Judiciary is considering oversight of how and to what extent the executive branch has coerced and colluded with companies and other intermediaries to censor speech. Again, violation of the First Amendment. As the primary liaison between the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Foreign Influence Task Force, because that's what they'll always go to. It was the Russians trying to influence our election, when in fact it's the Democrats who are influencing our elections, aka Johnson and Benson here in Michigan, who seems to be able to pick who our candidates are going to be. At the issue of the federal government's joint operations with major social media companies to censor disfavored political viewpoints during the COVID-19 pandemic. For instance, if you thought anything different than what the World Health Organization believes, YouTube would shut you down. In fact, they removed 2 or 3 of our videos for just that thing. It exposed how the federal government has pressured and colluded with big tech and other intermediaries to censor certain viewpoints on social and other media. So in other words, and when I said they've just done it again, the Biden administration is asking mainstream media outlets to investigate the investigators on the impeachment inquiry. So, you and I used to have, we would get accused of various things in our security work because we would tell someone they couldn't park somewhere, and then they would say, well, you're a racist or you're corrupt. So we used to call it accuse the accuser, and that's what they're doing here, basically. Thoughts so far?
Well, my thoughts so far is this all goes to the heart of the FBI is beyond redemption. I mean, you're starting to hear this on more of the talk shows since they've become so corrupt at the top, the leadership top. It's almost like they need to be completely dismantled.
I believe they do. They got to go. Start over.
I know a lot of times we take shots at people who want to dismantle the police, but the interesting thing about that is the very people who want to dismantle the police want to enhance the FBI.
Well, exactly, because they're using it as a Gestapo-like organization where find the man or name a man and then find a crime.
Yeah,
rather than look at a crime and find the man, which is what their purpose is.
And they pretty much was able to pry out of the FBI how they lied to the FISA court, about Trump, and Comey lost his job, and Strzok and Lisa Page lost their jobs, but so many people at the top level who were just as intimately involved, they're still there doing the same thing.
Yeah, Andrew, what's that guy? Rothstein was his name. He was in there. Andrew McCabe, I don't think they got any real consequences for their actions, forced to retire or whatever.
It's just it's the organization is irreparable, but
Well,
I
the
guess
very
it's
fact that they don't want this man Chan to even talk to Congress.
oh yeah,
Why would that be a problem for them if they're so damn innocent?
and I mean, you know, and they've already had whistleblowers go up there, you know, and speaking of the FBI, well, and there's an ex FBI agent by the name of Kyle Seraphin, and he's got his own podcast, and he's on Rumble also. But yeah, he'll tell you that once a whistleblower has been targeted within the FBI, they pull their clearance. They even if they retain them, they basically, once they walk into the building, they sit at a desk and do nothing. You know,
Right? They get shunned.
And I mean, that's
whistleblowers are supposed to be protected by the law, and clearly, if the people who think they are the law are out to get you, they're gonna punish you in some way. But going back to the subpoena, it comes amid the ongoing Missouri versus Biden court case in which Republican-led states, I believe it's 5 or 10, have challenged the administration's interactions with social media giants, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. In last week, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld the decision of a Judge Terry Doherty, which found that the administration's efforts likely violated the First Amendment. Again, it's an impeachable offense, at least in my mind. I don't know. You know, but here's the problem with all these hearings, and we've said this before on this channel. It's gonna go to the Supreme Court, who's going to decide it, and that's a flip of a coin how that's ever going to go.
Well, one of the problems, and I've heard this, the easy one for me to reference is Jesse Waters. Okay, we have these hearings. So what? Nothing ever comes of these hearings. Part of the problem is the time lag, and the Democrats always use the excuse, "Oh, that happened so long ago. That's old news now."
Yeah, but
as if somehow
slavery needs to be on the front burner of every decision.
Yeah, you know, and because it happened so long ago, they think that just easily dismisses the offense of what had occurred. And yeah, the problem is, it does take 2 or 3 years for anyone to even remotely get shamed for the act.
Yeah, and the public has a shelf life of about 30 seconds. Yeah, so yeah, that's a point I wanted to make, is that so what? Just another hearing, just another. I mean, I'm not sorry it's out there. I hope people are aware, and I believe in this case it could be used as a tool of impeachment. He's not getting removed from office unless the Democrats really see that as an opportunity to get rid of this old fool. Yeah, so Barack Obama can run Kamala Harris or Big Mike or whoever the hell he wants to have take Slow Joe from Kokomo out of office.
And you know, the word is the Biden DOJ, that administration. Now they want to look into Elon Musk, you know, in search of a crime. You know, once again, you've targeted a citizen, and now you're in search of a crime. You know, I mean, that's just, that's how they. You know what? That's why the damage is irreparable, and it just needs to, you know, it needs to be dismantled.
They might as well just come to your house and say, confess your crimes, citizen.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll wrap it up there. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.